And it's on and poppin'. And wait for it and bam!
We're live! Yay!
Live or live, sweet sister. I love that you came today.
Yes.
On the fly.
Yes.
Like venue change,
yes.
Check, we're ready to rock and roll. This is really good news, sweet Jessica. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
For those of you that don't know, this is Jessica Janty, the gorgeous goddess that is just taking the world by storm and sharing all your sweet gifts, which is just so inspiring. You've inspired me from the beginning, girl.
Thank you.
Yes. And you've recently started your Wild Soul Collective.
Yes. So so are you okay if I go back a little bit?
Yes.
Okay.
Please do.
So I'm Jessica. We haven't done a podcast together on your platform.
No,
just mine. Okay.
Just on yours. And that was like one of my first podcasts that I ever did was on your platform. And it was the sweetest thing. But and again, it's inspired.
Yes. But I do remember coming to your farm and we did some sound. Yeah. I think we did like a live there. So I think that's where I was thinking that maybe I'd done this before, but we haven't. Yeah. Okay. So I'm Jessica. I'm actually a nurse by background. I left traditional healthcare about 4 years ago, opened up my own business. It was kind of more of, I would say, like I don't want to say a hobby because I was trying to make it my business, but I wasn't really treating it as like a legitimate business. So just recently I opened up an LLC. So I'm calling it the Wild Soul Collective. Super excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I do coaching. I'm a nurse coach, kind of like a life coach. And I do breath work, somatic healing, sound healing. I love bringing people together to do circles. Like I do women's circles or full moon circles. I do in-person retreats. I do lots of things online as well too. I actually do a couple things in person in some studios around the area in West Bend and Cedarburg. So yeah, it's just been a beautiful, like, I don't know exactly the word to say, but just like slowly becoming this beautiful thing that has been my own business, and I'm really excited about it. So.
Wow. No, I feel like, you really just dove right in.
Yeah.
Into this space, coming from your nursing background. And you were a nurse for close to 20 years, right?
Yes, I've been a nurse for about 21 years. And so I think I was 17 years in when I quit.
17 years. Yeah. And you're young, so I feel like you started probably right after college.
Yes. Actually, I was in the hospital even before I graduated nursing school. I worked in the hospital as a CNA and then a clinical assistant. And so I spent most of my adult life was in the hospital, in the healthcare setting. And I loved it. It was my passion for a while until I was feeling really burnt out and overwhelmed, and just lots of things happen in any job, not just in healthcare, but healthcare can be very stressful. You're pouring all of yourself into your patients, into everything that you're doing. And I was finding that I was coming home, I was crabby, I was overwhelmed, and at one point my husband said to me, like, hey, you're no fun to be around. I don't want to be around you. The kids don't want to be around you. Like, you got to figure something out. And so it took me a little while even after that, but that was a big wake up call. Like, okay, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going? This is not fulfilling me. My soul I felt like I was being pulled in different directions. Like, I want to help people. I want to serve, but this isn't the way that I want to do it anymore. And I didn't know what that looked like. And so it was very scary. When I say that I quit my job, it was not like I'm just going to quit today and it's fine. Like, it was like crying tears at night. Like, what do I do? What am I going to do with my life? Where am I going from here? And I didn't have a plan. Like, I legit quit my job. I didn't have a plan. I'm like, we're going to figure this out. And here we are. So it's taken a while. And if there was one thing that I would say to people, I thought about this the other day. There's one thing I would say to people about starting your own business is continue where you are for a little while until you figure out exactly what you want to do and where you want to go with it, because it takes money to build a business. It also takes time and commitment, and to know where you want to go and know where you want to go with it, because it's like a roller coaster. Entrepreneurship, man, it is. It's like at times you're like living way up here, like this is amazing and so awesome and I'm doing my soul's work. And then there's times where it's like, there's no clients, things aren't happening, just things feel a little like sticky, and what am I doing, and did I make the right decision? And so it's like this this up and down. And so the safety of having like financial security while you're doing it, I think is important. So just for anybody that's out there listening, like, I want to do this, like, financial security is important, and it's important to have because it leads to safety in your body for what you're building and what you're growing. So, but here we are. It's been a beautiful journey. It's been a lot of lessons. A lot of lessons.
Lessons in the blessings.
Yes.
Well, because I feel like you don't want to operate from the place of stress and like I have to make this go because, you know, my heating bill depends on it.
Yes. Yes.
Or that could put a lot of stress on your marriage too with your partner if that's your situation.
Yes, 100%.
To kind of put all the weight on them. So I love that you just dove into it and you're like, this is all happening, because at that point it is kind of like a do or don't.
Yes.
And
100%.
go back to what you know.
Yes. And I have been very blessed that in doing this, I did have my husband's support. Like, he's like, yes, you need to quit your job. You need to go where you want to go. Like, I'm here. I will support you. Let's do this. And so I've been very blessed that way, that I do have support.
Yes. It takes a tribe.
It does.
It really does. And then to have that strong relationship with him just means the world for him to be able to support you like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you get stuck in, and you did it for 17 years of nursing.
Yes.
Were you working during COVID?
Yes.
In the hospital?
So, yep, I was working. Let's see, it would have been October of 21 is when I left the hospital.
Okay, so you were in the thick of things there.
Yes, and I was already, before COVID came in, I was already burned out and feeling like I wanted to change, but I didn't know what it looked like. I was, you know, as growing up, and I don't know if you were this way too, it was like you go to school, you pay all this money, you go to school, you become this person. And so for me, it was a nurse. And how I was raised, it's like you do what you become. You are this person. That is who you are now. And so it became my identity. And I didn't really know who I was outside of that. And so it's taken me a while to be like, okay, who am I outside of being a nurse? What does that look like? Because my whole identity was wrapped up in being a nurse. And we're taught like, okay, you're going to be this person, you're going to be it for the rest of your life. And so if there's anybody out there that's like, I don't know, I feel stuck in this place, just know that you're not stuck, that there is ways out, that you can be creative and find what lights you up. But you have to start asking those questions, like, what do I really want to do? Where do I really want to go? I don't want to be stuck. We have one life to live. You don't want to be stuck doing something that you don't feel is fulfilling you, or that you don't feel like is your soul's purpose. Because that's really why I left, is like, I know that what I was doing when I was doing it, being a nurse, working in the hospital, especially the ICU, that was like my passion. I was doing what I was
You were in the ICU?
Yes. And I loved it. And I loved taking care of people. It is very fast-paced. You got to know what you're doing. That's for sure. But going from that place and being like, okay, now I got to figure out what I want to do. It's like, it did take a little bit of time. But if you're feeling stuck, it's just taking that little bit of time and sitting with yourself and saying, okay, what do I want to do? What interests me? What lights my soul on fire? And that's kind of what's led me to where I am now. It's like slowly figuring out like, okay, what do I really want to do? And how can I serve? Like, I know I am here to help people. I know I'm here to serve. And in what way can I best do that? But I had to learn myself. So I had to like unlearn a lot of things, like what I thought I had to be for everybody else, what I thought like my parents wanted me to be, what I thought my husband wanted me to be, what I thought my society, the people that I loved, that I cared for, like what they wanted me to be is basically what I did. Now, becoming a nurse, I truly feel like was my soul's passion at the time.
Yeah.
But then it's evolved over time. And so that's, I guess, the thing that I want to say to people is that you can evolve, you can grow. And that is a beautiful thing. If you just stay stuck all the time and you're never learning, you're never growing, like what is that? It just becomes very mundane, very like status quo. And so I feel like just getting out of that box of like, okay, I have to be this person, it has to look like this, and like letting it blossom. Like, what could it look like if I just bet on me, if I said, no, I want to do something different? Because that's a lot what I hear from people is, well, I could never do what you do. And I'm like, well, why not? Like, the only person that's putting that stipulation on you is you. And so you can do it. Like if you have something that's on your heart and you're like, I really want to do this, I just don't know how, just find the way. Like find the way, because if it's on your heart, if it's a calling that you have, like then you're meant to do it. So yeah.
I love that. Because you're like walking, talking, living proof of following your heart and trusting your intuition and being able to take that leap of faith.
Yes.
And trusting the process along the way.
Yes. But I think sometimes people see that and they're like, oh, you're doing it. It's so great. And, you know, like I could never do that. But it's like, it's taken me, it's been 4 years since I've quit my job. And so it's taken me a little bit to get here, to get to this place where I can sit here and feel so confident in what I'm doing and who I am and who I'm becoming. So the dog's like, I would like your drink too. I stopped at Plantonic Cafe. I'm just going to say a little shout out to Plantonic Cafe. She made us some beautiful golden milk lattes. Very yummy. So thank you.
Cheers, sister.
Yes,
thank
cheers.
you so much for bringing this nourishment.
But Ripley is like, I would love to taste it as well.
I'm sorry about my puppy. He's learning. I'm growing and evolving.
It's all good.
And hopefully he didn't lick right where you.
That's fine. I'm a dog. It's fine.
Hey, they say dogs have cleaner mouths than humans. So that's what they say anyways. We'll have to chat GTP that later.
Yeah. Totally lost train of thought. I don't know where I was going with
We were talking about trusting the process and taking the leap of faith.
Yes, we were.
And doing that. And you did that.
Yes.
I like put that on high.
Yeah, sometimes you see people and you're like, oh man, they're living so great and their life is so great and all of this, but it's like you don't see all the things that is taking the sacrifice, the nights and weekends, the things that you have to say no to so that you say yes to building your business and doing, you know, what you need to do to grow it. And so I think sometimes people just see all this, you know, beautiful stuff on Instagram or on Facebook, and you're like, oh, it must be nice for you. I get those comments a lot, like, oh, that must be nice. But it's like, it's taken me a while to get here. It's taken blood, sweat, and tears. It's taken lots of tears at times, you know, it's like to get to this place. So I just want to say, like, if it's something that's on your heart and you want to do it, like, just go for it, because you're the only person that's holding you back. Yeah.
And I've been following you probably since your journey has began, honestly. Yeah. How did we get connected? Was it Fella from Blue Luna?
Oh, maybe.
I honestly don't remember like the first initial connection, because it just felt, it just feels so organic along the way. But I love all your adventures that this has taken you. So I want to know, or I would like you to share kind of how you landed where you were at, because it's breath work was the initial like grounding force that you're like, this is what I absolutely love and I want to pursue.
Yeah.
How did you get there?
Yeah. So ever since I quit my job, well, when I first started my coaching certification, I would say, I was like, okay, if this is what I want to do, if I want to help people in this way, I want to be coached myself. I want to learn what this is about. I want to feel into, all of that. So I hired a coach, and I've actually had a coach ever since starting in the coaching collective that I was in. And I felt like that's been a huge part of my growth journey, is having someone along the way to keep me accountable, to when I'm like, oh gosh, this isn't working, just to like be that voice of reason. That's like, okay, let's walk through this together. And so I ended up hiring my second coach, was someone who would open up our sessions with breath work. She would say like, okay, we're going to just drop into a little bit of breath work. And so that word just kept coming up. Didn't really know what it was outside of this coaching space. And so actually at Blue Luna in West Bend Elise was having a breathwork session. And I was like, oh, breathwork, I've heard of it. I would love to do something in person. So I went there, I joined the session, and that session was, I can still remember it. It was literally like a catalyst in my journey, where I was like, I don't know what that was, but I want more of that. Like, I want to do that. And so it just felt like, where people would say, if you're ever stressed out or things like that, people are like, well, just try to meditate. Just go home and try to meditate. And I'd sit there, I would put a meditation on, or I'd, just try to do stuff or listen to music. And my thoughts would just spiral. They would just keep going. And so I'm like, I can't meditate. This is just not for me. I'm not meant to do this. And breath work, when I did that session, I was actually able to like connect to my body in a way that I didn't know was available. I didn't know was there. And when I say that, for people that are like, well, what does that even mean? I think we're so disconnected from who we are and from our body, and listening to our intuition and our knowing and the subtle things that our body tells us, because we live in our mind so much. We're constantly in our mind. We're constantly inundated by, I mean, our devices in our hand. We can literally look something up at any second of any day. And so we're constantly getting input from everyone else outside of us. We ask for others' opinions. We ask for all these things. But really, our body holds so much wisdom, so many answers. Like, we were gifted, we were made with our unique body, our unique imprint of who we are, and our wisdom, and all of that. And I think when we disconnect,
Come here.
I think when we disconnect from ourselves, because we've been taught, like, when you cry, don't cry, everything is fine. Or, no, that's not how it is. When we were little, a lot of times we felt a certain way, but we were told, like, maybe that wasn't right. Maybe I don't know what's best for me. And so there's so much of that that's happened throughout our lives. So when we start to feel feelings, we're like, wait, is that even real? Do I know what's best for me? And so what breath work for me has done is it's helped me to get into my body that way, where I can listen to my body instead of this overactive mind chatter that might not even be real. It could have been someone else's story. It could have been what this person told me to do or think or say. And not that that's all bad, but you have to almost take it through your own lens of your own body and be like, what does my body want me to do? Do I want to say yes to this instead of saying no? Or do I want to say no? Like, we have to learn to listen to ourselves. And so that's really what breathwork has brought for me. So that first session, it was able to help me drop into my body and be like, wow, okay, I can feel things again, which sometimes makes people a little nervous and scared, but it's not scary, because feelings are, I mean, we want to be able to feel joy and peace and happiness and excitement, but we also have to leave room then for the feelings of sadness and anger and grief and all of that. Like, we are a human, we experience all of the things, and it's not that one emotion is better or feeling is better than the other. They're all just emotions and feelings. And so we have to allow ourselves to feel them and to be okay with them, because that's just part of our human experience. So breath work has allowed me to get into my body in a way that I didn't even know that I needed. And so I ended up going back a month later, because I was like, well, that might have just been a fluke. I have no idea. So I went back and I was like, no, that I had another session. It was exactly the same way. I was like, wow, it just felt very healing. It felt so healing to my body, where I was like, I need more of this and I want to share this with the world. And so I asked her, I'm like, where did you go? How did you do this? And so I ended up getting that certification in breath work. And then it's just kind of led me down this path. I've now gotten a sound healing certification and somatic healing certification. And I'm in the midst of a yoga and a somatic, like, dance soul flow certification. Like, I just keep wanting to learn and just to keep growing and building on my knowledge. And because the more that I get into my body and learn about myself and my body, the more that I want to do it. The more that it's like, okay, this is exciting and this is beautiful and I love it. So,
yeah. And I just love that you have such a book understanding of the body and how it works, and the anatomy and physiology, working in the nursing field, that you have that like deep understanding and solid 17-year foundation of working with people, and kind of would you say it was treat and diagnose, or the care? I just feel like it's so different than what you're offering now.
Yes, so true. So, and that is part of the reason why I ended up leaving the healthcare system. And not to say that it's bad. I don't ever want to say that the healthcare, and if you're in healthcare, that you need to leave. Like, that's not what I'm here to say at all. Because we need all of it. We need Western medicine as much as Eastern medicine, I guess, as people call it. But it's knowing the science part of it, and like how breathwork can really help the body. Like, there's so much science that they've done and research that they've done on breathwork now, and how much it really helps the body with our nervous system, our blood pressure, our stress, our just so many different things that it really does. And like my knowledge of having that background piece is so beautiful. But there was a piece that just felt disconnected for me, where it was like, we take a pill just because, the second you get a headache, we'll just go take Tylenol. Or like, that's how I grew up, is like, you just take a pill if something is not going right. But really what we're doing is we're masking what's really going on underneath. And so when we can get to the root of it, which sometimes might take a little bit of breath work, sometimes it might take, some doctor's visits or getting some labs and some other things as well, but also learning your body. Like, what does my body need? Sometimes it might be a food sensitivity, something that you're eating that your body is viewing as something that's attacking it. Like, there's just so many pieces to it. But our body truly knows how to heal us if we can give it the right medicine. And just like you do, with like the plants and the things that you've been learning about, like there's so much in nature. There's so much inside of us. There's so much that we can do healing wise without just having to run to take a pill right away. And so I think that's what my soul was craving, is like this knowing of how do we heal our body instead of just masking it, instead of just taking a pill to say that we're better, even though we're really not getting to the root cause of what's causing it. And so that's what I've been learning, and that's what I've been loving to explore, is like how our body can show us and teach us, but we have to get quiet enough with it to hear it. And sometimes it takes time, which people don't love. You're like, okay, maybe we should try a different herb, or maybe we should try something else. And like, sometimes things just take a little bit more time that way, but it also is so much more healing to the body, instead of just being like, here, take this pill and go on your way. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. It's like, how did we get here? How did we get so disconnected from our intuition? And that's why I feel like the work that you're doing is just so vital for our society right now, and like be here now, because it's really connecting with your intuition.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. Yes.
And that inner knowing.
Yes.
And I feel like it almost feels like a whole new world, doesn't it,
yes.
Jessica? With it's like going down the rabbit hole, but in the best way possible. Or it's like ascending. True. It's like the ascension, really. Yes. Like, we're not going down, we're going up.
Yes, it's so true. I mean, I remember, like, now it's been 4 years, and I'm like, man, what has changed? So much has changed in my life in the last 4 years. And not that change is bad, because I think sometimes people are like, oh, you've changed, and like view it as a negative way. But for me, it's just been this beautiful, like, just growing into who I know that I'm meant to be and what I'm here to share with the world, and not letting that fear take over of like, okay, maybe I shouldn't share, because there was a good period of time where I'm like, okay, I'm a nurse. This is what I do. But now I'm trying to tell people about breath work and somatic, and like, that's so different from what I was. But it's like letting go of all that fear of like what other people are going to think about it, what they're going to say about it, because it doesn't matter, because it's not their journey. It's your journey, or my journey, And so my journey has been, probably with the sciencey background and knowing all the things that I know, to now also then being in the, okay, and I hate the word woo-woo. I don't want to use that, because I don't feel like the things that I'm doing are woo-woo, even though people would, say that.
Well, that aren't attuned to it.
Or new age. People would say like, oh, that's just new age stuff. But really it's not. It's really connecting back with our body and our knowing. And like I said, we were divinely made. Like, we were made in the image of God. He has given us these beautiful vessels that we are. And we've been given the beautiful, like, what your knowing and my knowing are going to be a little bit different. But it's not for me to judge like, oh, well, she shouldn't be doing that because whatever, religious things said that you shouldn't be doing that. Because there is a lot of religious conditioning that's out there too, where it's like, you shouldn't do that because XYZ, even with the hemp and stuff. I mean, I grew up where that was not allowed, and, DARE program and like all of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Where it's been a lot of unlearning of like, no, this plant really can help us. It can heal our body. But we've been so conditioned by society and other things that like, no, that's bad. And so it's really unraveling what you've learned and then running it through your lens and through your body and being like, okay, I feel like I'm being led this way, and then trusting that. Because that truly, when you listen and you trust your body, your knowing, I truly believe, this is my take on it, is that that's God guiding you.
Yes.
And so for me, I've been like, when people are like, oh, I don't know if you should be doing that, it's like, but this is what I know to be true. And for me, and so who are you to judge to say that I shouldn't be doing this? Because this is what God is leading me to do. So yeah, I feel like I kind of went on a little rant about that one, but
oh, keep going. This is where I'm on fire for Jesus, and I love that you were bringing him up so freely, because that's also like the conditioning of like, we don't talk about religion, we don't talk our faith, and that faith is the intuition.
Yeah,
that knowing is the downloads from the divine source, creator, whatever you want to call your higher power. I say God, because I have that direct line with them. Conditioning. So yes, I love this whole like inner knowing, because it is kind of like the woohoo way of saying your connection with source or whatever it is that you want to call it.
And so I come from this background of growing up in religion. And so, I mean, I have lost friends and mentors along the way because of the work that I started doing, because of the breath work and other things, because, 4 years ago, it wasn't talked about as much. And I think I was viewed as like stepping outside of church and of God, and there was a little period of time where I did question, where I was like, is there even a God? Is this real? What is real? What is not? And so then I felt shame for that for a while. Like, oh, am I wrong to have these, questionings, these feelings, all of this? But what I think it was is this beautiful way of like allowing me to explore for myself what is real and true for me. And it's really brought me back full circle to like God, who I grew up with. That's divine for me. That is God. But for a while there, for a little bit, when I got into doing this work, I didn't know what to say. I was like, do I say God? Do I not? I don't want to be viewed as like, people aren't going to like me, or they're going to judge me because of this or that. And I really had to let that go and just say, whoever is meant to be in my life, whoever is meant to follow me and be here, is not going to be put off by the fact that I do breath work, or it might look a little bit different than, them going to church every Sunday. And it looks a little different for me now. But I think being open to what is here, because I think when we're so close-minded and we're like, it can only be this and it can only be that, then we just lose so much opportunity for all the beauty that is out there. And I don't think that's how God wants us to live. I think he wants us to be open. I mean, there's so much out there to learn about, like you said, we could just go down a rabbit hole with so many different ways. But it's just having that discernment inside of yourself and listening and knowing yourself enough that you can be like, okay, no, that doesn't feel right, so I'm not going to do that. But this, I feel like the door is wide open. And that's what I keep telling people, is like, doors have just kept opening. Like, one thing just keeps leading to another. I met this person and now I'm doing this, and then I meet this person because of that, and then I meet this person because of that. And it's just like this beautiful, I don't know, I really feel like the doors have just been open, and I've just been meeting so many beautiful people, and it just, I don't know, it's really been beautiful.
A beautiful unraveling of your purpose and sharing your gifts. I love that you have had the boldness and the braveness to step forth and pursue this path. Because it really takes a special somebody to listen to that. And I feel like so many times, like, we get caught up in what exactly what you were saying, of what other people think. How is it going to be perceived? Oh, it's just so hard. I can't go on. And I feel like having that relationship with him and him guiding you on ways of, by having that angel come into your life and tell you about this, that, or the other, and that fit of inspiration that you decide to pursue. I don't know. You can't make this stuff up.
Right? No, 100%. 100%.
You just can't make it up. And I just love your journey. So, Sound Bowl, you are now working with a full crystal sound bowls, or what kind of sound are we healing with?
Yes, crystal sound bowls. I do want to do more, because I've been I've been really drawn to tuning forks lately, and I don't know enough about them, but I really want to start incorporating them. But sound is such beautiful medicine too. And for those of you at home that don't know, sound, there's vibrations that heal our body. And so the sound bowls that I have are crystal sound bowls, and they're made to resonate or vibrate at certain frequencies that are healing for certain parts in the body. And so, there's the root bowl, it's like the bigger bowl, and that's, for the healing areas in our root chakra. And then you just kind of go up. And so there's different organs and things that are in the certain areas of our different chakras, that it's those vibrations are made to heal those areas. So it's like if you are sick, or if there's something that's going on in a certain area, when you hear those when your body feels those vibrations, it can truly heal it. And so there is so much healing to sound therapy. And I think this is something that's going to start coming out a lot more too. And it already has a little bit, but I think it's just learning a little bit more about it and exposing people to it. This sound, that it's not just this like, so I think sometimes people are like, oh, we're just going to go for sound just for like relaxation, which it can be, but it truly is healing to the body as well. It's healing to the body in all the different areas by just bringing that vibration of sound into your field. Like your body can legit feel it. And there's some really cool, I don't know if you've seen the cool studies that they've done with like water and not snowflakes, I think it was water, where they like play the sound.
And snowflakes.
And snowflakes, yeah. I think it was snowflakes too.
Yes.
Yeah. And how the vibration changes the water molecules and the snowflakes and things. Like it's just fascinating.
The sound.
So fascinating, yes.
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 That's why I'm a huge proponent. Have you heard of Love Lingo before?
Yes. Yes.
I was just wearing Love Lingo today at the YMCA, and I had a lady ask, she's like, what is that? She's like reading my shirt, and it has all the positive affirmations: love, kindness, peace, joy, light, all like positive things. Because that is, they say what, like on the water bottle, they did a scientific study where on the water bottle, they wrapped a piece around it, and one water bottle had all positive affirmations and one water bottle had all negative affirmations, and they let it sit for a while, and then under the microscope, they looked at the molecules, and the ones that had positive affirmations were forming like beautiful snowflake-like crystalline structures. Yeah. And then the negative ones are like all disarray and crazy. Yeah. And so it's just coming to show like that everything is energy. Yes. I feel like energy work is it. Like energy, you got to think of, it's not so much, it's energy. Everything is energy. That's why I love the chakras, because it just seems to make sense.
Yes. And sometimes I think energy, especially for people that grew up a little bit more religious, sometimes I feel people are like, well, that's, you just talk about the energy that somebody has, and they're like, oh, no, that's weird. But if you think about it, when our kids are like jumping up and down and they're so excited that we're like, oh gosh, they've got a lot of energy they need to run off. Like, so we say it in certain ways, but when we use it in other ways, then people think that it's weird. Yeah. But it's not. It's like legit energy is all around us. It's in everything. It is who we are. Like we are energetic beings. So yeah, it's gorgeous. And so the plants too, have you heard about this, where they will have one room that they will talk really, like people will come in there and they'll talk so positively to these plants. And then they have another room and they're the exact same temperatures, the exact same humidity, like all of it. And they have one room for all the positive things that people will say. And then you go to another room and they talk all negative, and how the plants are like dying in the rooms that are being talked negatively. So it's like, that what we say and our vibrations and all of it has an impact on, if you think of how you were raised, or, in a classroom, a teacher in a classroom, like that energy is there. And if it's a positive energy, you're going to have a positive day.
I'm sorry. Ripley! No, it could be the Amazon driver now. It is always something. Ripley, can I be this? Ripley, root. I'm so sorry, and I can't edit this out because we're live or live.
You can go get him if you need to.
Should I?
You can hold little Ruby.
He's a Ruby. Ruby,
Oh, you're okay,
go
little
there.
Ruby.
Hey, Rip, excuse me. Ripley,
She wants to go by you.
can you no?
Yes.
It's a no.
Ah. So
Everything is energy. They're feeding off my nervous energy right now. Well, it's funny that you should bring up, the plants and the energy, because honestly, that's what I was telling people about, our plant medicine. And some people are like, wow, like, I don't know what you put in these plants or with the DNA. I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot. It is the energy that we're putting into it. It makes a difference. I don't care what you're saying. That's why the happiness that we exude in the fields and when we're working with the plants and having the sun and all of the elements and the birds chirping and, just all of God's creation coming together, because all things are working together for good. I feel like that is what makes a difference in our products versus another product that is corporate made or, made in a laboratory or even grown indoors. It's like all of the synergy, and I mean, we're familiar with the entourage effect with cannabinoids, and, it takes all the cannabinoids to work together to get the highest effect. But also, I feel like that energy and that synergy can be felt too within that outdoor environment and working together with the soil and the sun and all the 100%. I love that you brought that up because it does make a difference.
Yes, I mean, you can feel someone's energy when they walk in the room too. It's like, oh gosh, you can tell that they're having a bad day, or that they just have a storm cloud around them kind of feeling. Or if somebody that comes in that's super joyful and, like, you can feel it, and that is an energy. And so it's all around us. It's in everything that we do. It is who we are. It is all of it. So.
Oh, I love your energy. I feel like you are like the Zen warrior. It's such a peaceful, calming energy, and I just feel very relaxed when I'm with you.
I love that.
Even your voice is very soothing, because I took one of your online courses that you offered, and that was through an app, right?
Yes, the Telegram app.
And the Telegram app, so I couldn't see you, and you could kind of listen to it at your leisure, and it was such a relaxing time for me when I would listen to your voice. I just felt like my parasympathetic nervous system, like just kind of all the tension seemed to go away. And that's why I feel like you're just on such the right course, because even though I feel like it's not high dollars and big money right now, I feel like the impact that you're making. And we've been reminded how many times that it's not about money.
Right. Yeah.
It's, it has nothing to do with money. I just feel like it's worth more than gold what you're pursuing. Now,
thank you.
I love your energy.
I appreciate that. And I love yours. And I think it's so interesting how you are drawn to people that have, maybe an energy that you're like, oh, I love their energy, but that it's not me, but I just love that. Like, your energy is so bubbly and so like, yes, it's just, and I love it. But then parts of me is like, oh man, I would love to be that, but also I am me, so it's like,
and you are more than enough, just how God created you.
Yes, absolutely.
That's so true. And I love that you're like incorporating all these Eastern medicine or alternative healing. So we have breath work and we have the sound, which truly does make a difference. And I feel like these are just things you have to experience for yourself. And having a wonderful coach or guide makes all the difference, because a lot of us aren't self-starters and we procrastinate. And, we're sin nature. So I mean, we're going to and not speak kindly to ourselves, or don't think that we can step out of our comfort zone. But having people like that are you, that show up as their true authentic self and with the heart to help. I feel like that is such a gift in and of itself, because a lot of people are like, stay in your lane, and it's like, well, wait a minute, like, to have a student mentality and want to be live in love and learning to its fullest is just so admirable. And even if it rubs people the wrong way, you're planting seed, you're seeding out wherever you go of like, I am worthy, I am enough, I am going to pursue this passion of mine. And even if that stirs up something negative in somebody else, let them, and let me kind of vibe.
Yep. And sometimes I think it almost is like a mirror. So if something comes up and you're like, ooh, I don't like what she said, or you're super resistant, sometimes that's an invitation to ask, well, why did it create such a reaction inside of me? Like, why did her saying that? Why did her going to the breath work, or why did her doing XYZ create that inside of me? And sometimes that's a mirror that you almost need to reflect on yourself. Like, what is it about that? Do I want to have that? Is that why that reaction came up inside of me?
Yeah.
Is that something that I want to pursue? But I'm just, and it's not like a jealousy thing, but almost like I want to have that and I don't know how to get there. And so that's something that I want to tell people too. It's like sometimes people get so stuck in like, well, I couldn't do that and I can't do this, and I think I've said this a couple times already today, but I just feel like this message just really wants to come through today. Is like, just because you're in this spot that doesn't feel like you could ever do something like that, or that, if this is calling to you, but you're like, oh, I just, I don't know, I've got 10 other things that I need to do first. It's like, if it's inside of you, if you can dream it, you can do it. I truly feel like God gives us very specific dreams and desires. And those dreams and desires are on our heart for a reason. And it's for us to pursue them. I don't believe that we would be given specific dreams and desires and goals if it wasn't something that we were meant to do. So just like you for DNA hemp, I mean, this is something that nobody else was doing around here. And I'm sure it was probably very scary.
It still is. Still is. I was called a drug dealer today.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I know, and it hurt.
Yes.
It hurt.
Yes.
I just didn't, I guess hearing it so blatantly it just kind of stung. Yeah. And I was like, wow, like here I thought just to even the thought of being perceived like that. Yes. And I'm like, well, I guess I could kind of see where they would. Yeah. But it's such a misunderstanding. It is. It's such a misunderstanding. Yeah. So, and then I kind of have to, say thank you to my partner, Danny, for, he's the one who started this whole journey. Mm-hmm. And, just give myself and us a big pat on the back too for, being able to step out in faith and pursue this path. Because once we started down the hemp journey, there was no turning back. And it's an all-consuming fire of something that I'm really passionate about that has led me closer to God and pursuing different avenues of staying open. So it takes it's boldness. Yes. And I feel like through this mission, this divine mission has just really changed a lot of lives and improved the quality of our community. And I just have to keep coming back to the why. Mm-hmm. Why are we doing this? And that's that your service heart. Mm-hmm. Is that, would you say?
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that from an early age, I just had a desire to help people. Like, remembering when I was growing up, we would have this. I went to a private school and we had this table. We would kind of sit on top of the table. But it was, I don't even remember what we called it, but people would be like, I need to talk to you. And so we would go and we'd sit at this table and then they would just kind of tell me what was going on in their life. And I just feel like I've always had this desire to help people, sometimes to the detriment of myself, but because I want to help people so much. And so it's brought me on this path. First it was, as a CNA, and then as a nurse. And then now it's venturing even into what I would call a little bit of deeper healing, like that true deep healing inside of yourself. So you can become aware of like, who do you really want to be and how do you want to serve? And what does that look like for you? Because I think we get stuck in it. Like, I was very stuck when I was in the hospital. I didn't know. And if I would have had someone who could have walked alongside me at that point, I don't know that I would have left my job. I mean, obviously it happened the way it happened so that I could be here today doing what I'm doing. But I keep coming back to almost wanting to jump more into hospital settings or corporate settings a little bit, because I know there's so many people that are burnt out and overwhelmed and exhausted, and they just don't know where to turn or what to do, and they don't know who they are outside of what they've been doing. Mm-hmm. And so I want to be able to help people in any way that I can, just to find their true passion and what they're here for and what their soul's purpose is. And but people have to be open to want to do that. And sometimes you have to change a little bit, or you might have to be uncomfortable for a little bit. And I shouldn't say change, but like be uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable with the growing process and the changing process, because sometimes it's not easy, you know? But it's so rewarding on the other side when now being here and looking back who I was 4 years ago. I mean, my marriage was, on and off, like feeling very constricted. My relationship with my kids, I don't feel like was the best. Just like I was on autopilot, just like going through life, not exactly sure what I was doing. It was like, when is the next vacation? When is the next thing? Like constantly looking for that next thing because I didn't love the day-to-day life. Like I had it all on paper. I had the house and the kids and the husband and the dog. We didn't have the white picket fence, but like everything else basically. But on the inside, it was like, this is not, there's something else. I don't know what it is, but there's something else. And it just felt like this slow dying inside of like, this can't be all that life is. And it's not. It's like when you then decide to be like, I'm going to go all in on me and what I'm here to do and who I'm here to serve and like what that looks like. Man, it opens up so many doors, so many relationships. It's just been a beautiful process. Yeah.
Well, speak it into existence. I picked up on, you saying wanting to work in hospital settings and helping people in those kind of high stress situations. I say you just put it out there, and not to say that not that you hadn't in the past, but even putting it out there on even more publicly.
Yeah. Yes.
I can't wait to see.
I've been doing, actually, I got invited to the district attorney's office in Milwaukee County. So I went and did a session for them, and then I went to their children's court now twice. And the more that I've been there, it's like I can see the need of these people. I mean, that work is tough work. Just kind of hearing bits and pieces of their conversations while I'm there setting up and taking down. It's like their jobs are stressful. But it's like everybody's job can be stressful. You could be sitting at a computer all day and your job can be stressful, So it's like, but wanting to allow this work into places where maybe the people that are there can't afford doing this by themselves, or they don't even know where to start. They don't even know this is available. And so it's like, if we can bring more of this work into corporate type settings, I mean, there's lots of statistics about how doing breath work or meditation or, having coaching services in corporate environments, how their staff works better and how they function better, and morale in their spaces and stuff are better too. So it's like, there is a lot of benefit to it. So it's just trying to figure out how to get into more places like that, because I love what I'm doing in all the spaces, and I want to be able to bring it in. I was doing breath work and sound healing when I went to the DA's office and the children's court, and they loved it. Even the one lady was like, can we do this weekly? And I was like, well, you got to talk to your boss about that. Like I can't choose. I'll come in here weekly if you want, but it's like, I know people want it. And especially like this time of year when everybody is like, there's a lot of stress, even though it's a lot of good things that are happening, all the parties, buying the gifts, doing all the things, like it can be a high stress time. So it's like taking care of yourself, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just a couple minutes a day. Like I often will tell people, they'll be like, well, where do I even start? How do I even like do this at home? Because truthfully, breathwork is free. Like it's legit free. It's just you breathing. Now it is good because I will tell this to people too. Like I love having somebody guide me through breath work. There's just something about having someone guide you. And so I do still go and get sessions through friends that I've done my breathwork training with and stuff. We will trade sessions sometimes because you just need to be held by another person sometimes. But being able to have that in places where it's stressful, and life can just be stressful. And so if we just take a couple minutes a day, even if it's a couple minutes when you wake up in the morning, or a couple minutes before you go to bed at night, or even just checking in with yourself during the day, and just take 30 seconds just to sit and just close your eyes and just be in your body, take a few breaths, man, it helps the stress levels go down. You can function better, because that's like one of the biggest things that's happened for me. I was a very reactive. reactive is probably the better word.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if something would happen, I would get triggered, I would yell. Like, I was a yeller. I couldn't tell you the last time I'd yelled at somebody. Like, it just,
I cannot see you yelling. No way.
I truly feel like, I mean, if you push me to a point, especially when your kids are little and they're like fighting over the thing and they won't listen to you and you've asked them 20 times, and the only time they listen is when you raise your voice real loud, and then they're like, why are you yelling? Well, because I told you 20 times first. So,
because I told you.
Exactly. I mean, yes. Even the
I feel that, Jessica.
even the calmest person can get triggered. Or like, I don't have terrible road rage, but like if people cut you off or whatever, it's like, there's just that part of you that like gets activated, and you're like, ugh. But it's like, since I have found breath work and learned how to control my breathing, or learn how to control the activations that happen inside of me, I would say. Because when you do this work and you're doing it in a place where you feel calm and collected, then when you get activated, you get triggered, your body automatically goes back to that because you've practiced it now. It's like going to the gym or like training for a marathon.
Yes.
So you're not going to go run a marathon tomorrow. You're going to train for 12, 16 weeks, maybe a year, whatever it is. You're going to train for a long period of time. Same with, that's how breath work, that's how I look at doing this type of work. It's like, if you want to have a calm nervous system, if you want to be able to react in a place that feels really good in your body, like from a really calm and grounded place, you have to do the work before you get to that place so that your body knows and it can just call on that. And that's just an automatic. But it's like, you got to do the things a little bit at a time first. You got to get into, even if it's just a minute or two of just taking some breaths, just learning how to ground yourself, learning how to come back to your breath. Because then when you are triggered, you're activated, whatever happens, it's like your body knows. It's like, oh yeah, okay, we're just going to take a moment to breathe here. And then we can come at this situation. Then we can come at this problem. Then we can come at whatever it is. So.
Yeah, just breathe. It happens to me. I think I'm like doing really good and I'm calm and I'm centered, and then something triggers me.
Yeah.
And I'll just lose it.
Yep.
And then I look back and I'm like, I know I'm forgiven and I forgive myself, but I just feel like I'm missing some of those tools sometimes to set myself up, and breath where it's free, and some of the most basic, they say Yahweh, like breathing in and out is channeling the divine. I'm just like, why? What? Practice. Just keep practicing.
Yep. Even just a couple minutes a day. Like, it doesn't have to be, because sometimes, I do breathwork sessions and they can be longer. They can be 60-minute sessions. And sometimes people are like, well, I don't have time to do that. You don't have to do a 60-minute session all the time. You can just take a couple minutes to just sit. And what I tell people is to find a space that feels comfortable for you, and then just go there like every day.
Can we do it right now for a minute?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right.
I'm here for it, Jessica.
Yes. Okay.
Not to put you on the spot.
No. I mean, this is what I love. So,
okay, yay.
If you are with us and you are driving, don't close down your eyes. But if you're in a spot where you can close down your eyes, I would invite you to do that. Or just like a soft gaze at your lap so you're not distracted by anything around you. So just taking some breaths in through the nose and then out through the mouth, and continuing that breath, that in through the nose and out through the mouth, just making it a circle. Like, there's no ending, there's no beginning. It's just a beautiful fluid in and out. And we try to allow the exhale to be a little longer than the inhale. So as you inhale, you can always just count to 4 maybe, and then an exhale to 6, or you can always do an inhale as a 6 and an exhale to 4 or to 8. Sometimes when you count and you breathe, that helps take out the distraction, the noises around you, the mind chatter that comes in. And so just connecting to the breath, letting go of anything outside of this time and space, letting go of anything before you started breathing, anything that you need to do after. And as you breathe, this just brings you into your body a little bit more as we try to focus on our breath. When we focus on our breath, we let go of all the distractions, the mind chatter, the noise, and just continuing that breath, allowing you to sink even deeper into what's called your parasympathetic, that rest and digest state. And from here, it's where we can make decisions from a grounded place. It's from here that our body can do a lot of healing and repair work. Because when we're always going and we're always on, our sympathetic nervous system is always firing. We're always looking for something that's happening. Then our body is always on, and then it can't heal. It can't just be and be calm. So when we can even just take a minute or two like this, where we just breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, we just bring ourselves into this grounded, connected place where we can make important decisions, where we can come at problems, situations, things, even a conversation with another person. When you can come from this grounded place instead of a highly reactive place, you can repair relationships, you can have better conversations with people. There's just so many benefits to just taking a couple minutes to breathe. We'll do one more big, deep inhale in through the nose. And a big sigh out. And then sometimes even just like shaking it out after you do that. Just shaking out any of that energy that feels like it might be there. Sometimes it's good to do a little somatic shake, just like shaking it out. Feels really good.
Woo! That was amazing.
Yeah. I love it. And you feel like there's a little emotion coming up there, and I love that.
Yes.
So emotion, for anybody who's here, emotions, when they come up when we're breathing, that's just something that needs to be released. And so what I tell people is I love tears. I love people's tears. I love it when you feel safe enough to release your tears in my space. Like, that to me means that I've done a good enough job of holding the space, of allowing you just to breathe and to be, and that your system feels safe enough to allow it to release. Because tears are truly that. They are just a release. It's something that's in our body that just needs to come out. And we can do that through yelling. I mean, that's a release too. Like sacred rage. Have you heard of sacred rage?
No.
Oh man, this is something that I think is going to be coming out a lot more, but it's called sacred rage. So it's like, as women, I truly feel like we have a lot of rage inside of us, but like, it's not bad. So when people say that, they're like, oh, anger to people is like a negative emotion, but it's really not. It's neutral. All of our emotions are neutral. So whether you're happy or you're angry, it's like you're vibrating on the same level. It's just what you do with the anger and what you do with the happiness and how it comes out of you is what is viewed as negative or positive. And so when we have this anger, have you heard of like the what are those rooms where you can like smash things and hit
Rage
things?
rooms.
Rage rooms, yeah. And so it's like bringing more of that. And there also are some women's spaces where they're doing retreats and things around sacred rage, because we have so much inside of us that we were told, like, don't feel this, don't cry, everything's fine, or just so much of what we've suppressed, but it's still inside of us.
And it could be ancient.
100%.
Like they say, you carry like 13 generations of trauma in your DNA.
It could be yours. It could be your mom's. I mean, we grew in our mom's bellies for 9 months. And before that, she grew in her mom for 9 months. And it's like those pieces are all passed. Just like our genes can be passed on to us and our illnesses and things like that, so can traumas and different things that have happened in their life that they've held on to. Now it's getting passed to us. And so, yes, there can be rage inside from generations past. It can be yours. But like allowing yourself to feel it and be in a place where you can just scream or yell or punch a pillow or whatever you need to do. It's called sacred rage, where you are allowing yourself to feel the fullness extent of the anger, of whatever is inside of you, but like funneling it into a place that is like productive, where it's like, okay, this can come out of me and it's beautiful and I can allow it, and that's okay. Yeah, it's really cool. I've seen a couple people doing this work, and I think it's really, really beautiful. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I'd love to be able to witness that or what that looks like, because
Yeah.
I can see the rage room, where people go in there and just kind of let it out and you feel great after.
Right. Yes. But it also is something that is very vulnerable too, to allow yourself to feel that much, to allow yourself to just like, I've seen a couple things now where where this woman is like taking a sledgehammer to a pumpkin, and it's just like letting it all out. Like, we need to be able to have outlets to do things like that. And even for our kids, and when they're angry, it's like allowing them, teaching them that these emotions that they have are beautiful. They are part of who they are. They should not be shamed for being angry. But like, how do we allow them to feel it in a way that is productive for them? In a way that's like, okay, I'm not bad for feeling angry. I'm okay to feel angry, and this is what I'm going to do to get that anger out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's the shame piece.
Yes.
I feel like just recently
Yes.
I've had, I don't know if you want to call it an episode,
Yeah.
but I don't even know. After I was embarrassed, I was like, oh my gosh, I just did that in front of someone. Good thing it was someone I know and love dearly, but I felt shameful because of it. I'm like, I shouldn't have let them see that. I shouldn't have acted in that. I should have suppressed that and not. And
right.
But I feel like having those outlets and those safe spaces is really crucial. So you don't have to feel shameful for feeling. Your feelings are valid.
Right.
Your emotions are the way they are, and you have to deal with them. And that's that shadow work.
Yes.
Piece.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Going into the shadows, because the shadows, they're there. They're the parts of us that are teaching us how to move forward and growing into these beautiful humans that we are. Because as you are doing this work, and I'm sure you're feeling it too, and me doing this work, it's like we have been called to do this work at this time for this reason. And learning and growing like we are, it's like it can be hard at times. It can be scary at times. It can be like, why is it happening like this, or for what reason? But it's all to teach us so that we can help others, so that we can teach others. It's just like this beautiful. So I know everything that we go through, everything that is happening, it's all happening for us so that we can be the teachers. And so that rage that happened for you, just use it as a teacher. Like, this was a teachable moment for me. Like, how do I go forward? What do I want it to look like moving forward? And then just growing from there,
I'm not sure if I've arrived at exactly what I was supposed to do.
And that's okay, but you're learning. And so you're learning, like, how do I want to behave next? How do I want to show up next time if this is to happen?
Yes.
And it's,
I learned it was their reaction or their lack of reaction. They let me do it. And then it was my feelings that it was me that felt shameful and embarrassed.
Right.
And I don't think it was because of them. It was because of me.
Yes.
So even witnessing how that special somebody held space for me, I feel like is maybe what I was supposed to learn from that.
Yeah.
I was literally like a kid. I was like stomping my feet, thrashing around, tears, all of it. And they're just, I won't get it. Just the way that space was. It was, I think maybe even witnessing how they held space for me. So holding space for people is huge. And I feel like,
absolutely.
That's what that's the essence of what you do is
a part of who I am, and what I'm here to do is just hold this space for people to show up exactly how they want to show up. Like, when I hold spaces, when I hold circles, when I do retreats and things, like, I want people to feel that they can just be the fullest extent of themselves. Whatever that looks like, whatever you're going through, whatever, like, there is nothing. I think we hold this shameful pieces of ourselves where we think there has to be shame around it, but we're the only ones most of the time that are putting that on ourselves. Like, yes, it might be some conditioning that we've learned growing up, but a lot of times no one is sitting there thinking at night like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that she did that. Like, can you believe she did that? No, it's like we're doing that to ourselves. They probably didn't even think twice about it. Like, maybe it was a blip, they remembered it during the day and then it went away. Like, but we sit and we ruminate and we're like, oh my gosh, what are they thinking about me? What are they doing? Blah, blah, blah. And like, they're probably at home cooking dinner right now. like
Yeah,
they
living their life.
yes, they're just living their lives, but it's like we get stuck in this like spiral of the shame spiral of just going down this path where it's like you're doing it to yourself, and not just anybody. Like I'm calling myself out here too. Like it's all this learning experience of like, no, we just have to learn how to give grace to ourselves too, because we are all just doing this. No, there's no rule book on anything in life, really. We're just learning as we go. So, yeah.
With grace and mercy. And I feel like that's where, the Jesus element really helps me, because I feel like these are like the basic principles of like love and joy and true joy and knowing your why and sharing your gifts. And yeah, I feel like God has really helped me kind of make sense of it all and forgive myself. And that's where the Ho'oponopono. Are you familiar with that? It's been heavy on my mind lately of using that as kind of a technique. And I know some people are like, Ho'opono, what? Like I can't say it. Like, no, thank you. But again, it's the knowing that like it's telling yourself, I love you and I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. And I feel like that can get us back into that present moment and allow ourselves just to breathe, just to be.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because when we spiral and our thoughts are going all the different directions, then it almost like just it compounds. Then we think of all the things that we've done in the past, and then it just becomes this huge mounting like pressure that we put on ourselves, when really it could have started from this small little thing. Yeah. So it's crazy where our minds take us and where we go to. Yeah.
It's just like, be here now. Just get back in the vortex, get back in this present moment. And I think that's what breath can truly do.
Yes.
So what's the difference between breath work and the somatic?
So
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, soma is body. Soma is the other, I think it's like a Latin word for body.
Okay.
And so somatic healing is a lot of listening to your body and listening to your body speak to you. And so I know it might sound silly to any of you that are listening, where you're like, what do you mean body speak to you? So let's use a headache, for example. You get a headache. Oftentimes it can be dehydration. You just didn't get enough water for the day. Or maybe you have been sitting in front of your computer screen and your eyes are tired. Like that could be a headache. But it's learning to listen to, okay, what is my body feeling right now? And why did I get this headache? So that's the somatic work, is like getting into the body and learning what the body needs, but like even on a deeper level. So another example could be, if we don't listen to our body, our intuition, our knowing, we've gotten kind of cut off from that a lot. So even the example of eating, you eat when you're hungry. Sometimes we eat when we're not hungry, or sometimes we keep eating and we're not hungry, but we keep eating and our body's like, no, we're full, but we keep eating anyways. It's like we haven't learned to listen to our body. So somatic healing, somatic work is really to try to get you back into listening to your body and what does your body need and what are the rhythms of your body. But it takes work. Like it's not like you're going to go to one somatic healing session and that's going to be it. It's like you do it usually over like a 3-month period of time or over a longer period of time, because you want to really start, it's like tracking what your body is doing. So it's for women, it's like learning your cycle. What is your cycle? How do you feel at different points in your cycle? Learning the rhythms, learning the things that your body likes and doesn't like. It's like really getting into, what does my body need? How does my body want to move? And then in some sessions we'll do where we just listen, where you sit and I do a little bit of breath and then you just listen to your body and you're like, okay, where's an ache or pain that's coming up in my body right now? And then we just try to sit with that part. And we're like, okay, just breathe into that. What is coming up for you? And sometimes it will be a feeling, a thought, emotion, but it's like allowing yourself and giving yourself the time and space to just sit with your body so that you can hear what it's saying to you. Because often our body knows what it needs to heal, but we're so busy going, doing, we're inundated by all the things all the time that we don't take the time to just listen to our body and what it needs. And so that's what somatic healing does, is it really just brings us back into our body, to listen to our body, to hear what it's speaking to us. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating when you have a session, because I've had numerous sessions now. I've been in a program where, we had to practice on each other and things. And every time it's like, I'll go into a session thinking like, okay, I want to work on this today. And then when you go into your body and you let your body kind of lead, it's just crazy what comes up. And it's like, that is not something that I thought I was going to talk about today. Like my body it just came forward, and it was like, okay, this is coming up. I'm having a pain in my left shoulder blade. Well, that was back to something that happened when I was in 4th grade. Like it's just kind of crazy how it can piece together and how things can be revealed to you, and the healing that can happen when you allow it to come up and be felt, because a lot of it is just things that we've suppressed, where we're like, nope, I'm not gonna feel that anymore. I'm not gonna. And it's not that it has to come through. Sometimes people are like, oh, I'm too scared to do that. I don't want to feel all those feelings again. It's not like it's all gonna come back up at you. Sometimes you can feel sadness, grief, heaviness, and all of that. But at the end of the session, we always bring it back into where you're feeling harmonious, not that we leave you feeling, oh my gosh, now I've got all of these things to think about. Like we work through it in a way where it's like, okay, how can we bring you back to this place where your body feels safe and it's okay, you're okay here and now. So yeah, it's really cool, I think.
That is really, really, it reminds me of like wellness coaching. And I've said this a couple of times. It's like, you are a whole person, and you have all the answers.
Right.
It's already in here in that inner knowing, and using motivational interviewing. And that is where I think we first connected with you. I had to do motivational interviewing.
I think it was even before that. I remember this during the session though. I think it was back on your farm, because when you were talking about the light language, I think that I came to the farm because Rita had said we're looking for someone that does breath work or something like that. And then I came to your farm, and you had like a thing, and that guy was selling his shirts, because I was like, wait, I remember that. Yeah,
and you were like glowing that day, because I remember you had an epic session out by the plants.
We did have plants.
Where the hemp plants. I remember you like levitated back, and you're like, that was amazing. And I feel like, I don't know what that, I can just speak to what I witnessed, but you were like glowing. You had like a golden glow, like you had like stepped into it. I don't know if you had done it beforehand.
I don't think I had done much. I don't think I had. There's a black squirrel.
Yes.
That's so interesting.
Squirrel!
I don't see many black squirrels. So
they're all around.
So now we have to look what black squirrels mean, because it came during our interview. But anyways.
That's true. We will.
Yeah. So I think that was the first time that because she wanted me to like open with some breath when you were opening the whole thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've never talked in front of this many people before. And I was so nervous. I think I was like so sweaty. I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So that was like,
let's go. Rip me! Can you rip? I'm sorry, again. We were supposed to have this at the office where I was going to leave my dogs at home. But again, people are moving on and don't even notice, right? Right? Ripley, can you do these? Come here, sweetkins. Okay, hopefully, okay, sorry. So,
all good.
So you were nervous about opening.
Yes. And I feel like, how many years ago was that?
5, 6?
Oh, it wasn't that long ago, because I've only been doing this for
4.
Yeah, breathwork has been about 3. Yeah.
I feel like that was the summer solstice. It was maybe coming out, maybe 22.
Yeah.
I bet that was 22, grow season, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that's where we started and connected. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is crazy. But yeah, so that was one of the first places that I did breath work in person with lots of people. And so I thank you for that space to do that and to start my journey, because it's just kind of grown since then. So.
No, I could tell something happened, magical happened. They say there's a vortex on the farm.
Oh, I would believe
there's an energy. She's like, right over here, ancient energies happening. Like,
I love
that. She explained it as kind of, I forget, my mind is blown.
Someone come out and like, do like a mapping or like something like that.
Okay. Yes, she was a wonderful energy worker. Miss Dawn from Sienna Moon is how I actually met her. And she was a sweetie. And so she's kind of pinpointed an area where it felt like there was a central point of energy, which kind of it made me wonder, because, the natives back when, and how they would use the land, and it was kind of in like a fertile ground of the farm. So
that's so cool.
When the land, and that's another thing of, learning, like the land has can speak to you too. So I feel like, utilizing this energy where it kind of channels all that. Something came up for me too. So when you were talking about the headache, and it could be, dehydration, or, stress, or, staring, at a screen, blue light. Do you think, knowing what you know about chakras, do you think, I just want to get your opinion, that it could be like maybe a crown chakra blockage?
It could be.
Or a third eye?
It could be.
Because I feel like energetically, using those meridians kind of as a map.
Yeah. It definitely just depends on the person and what's happening and what they've been going through and all of that. So absolutely.
Yeah, that's what gets me like on fire, because and that's kind of treating the underlying.
Yes.
Because sure, like we can have these initial signs or showings and symptoms, but it's like, where is that really coming from? And if we know that energy is energy, everything is energy, maybe it's, you're not connected somehow, and that's what's creating these blockages, or you don't allow time for outlets where you're able to connect. Well, very much so for the root chakra, your sacral, they say that's where, that's where some of your organs are. And to people that have, solar plexus blockages, are having a lot of trouble with their digestion. So I don't know, I feel like that's next level for me. And I could go
learning more. It's like, and if you have that interest to like know it, then it's there for you for a reason, It's like, okay, me next.
But I feel like your understanding of the body and inner workings of the anatomy and physiology is just such a crucial piece. When I was learning about anatomy and physiology, it was literally like learning another language. I was just kind of like, and I know through time and practice and even a lot of listening, both inside and outside. I'll get there one day, but
yes.
I just want to, because that's kind of a different area to explore. And through the soma, through the body, that's one way to really tap into all of that.
100%.
I also wanted to ask you about, and I don't feel like we like in person connected about this, about your silence retreat.
Silent meditation retreat?
Your silent meditation retreat.
Yeah, so I did that. That was end of January, beginning of February, I think, of this year. I did a 10-day silent meditation retreat. I would love to do another one. It was, 10 days. So it was 10 days of complete silence. So you arrive there that night. They give you like a little video to kind of talk you through everything that you're going to do. And then every morning there's like a meditation that they play, like a video of the guy who brought this modality over, the way that the meditation is. And so you hear a little bit of that in the morning, and then at night, every night at 7:00, there was like a teaching. It was like an hour-long teaching, but otherwise everything was silent. So even the meditation, so you meditated like 4 or 5 times a day for like an hour to 2 hours at a time, just depending on what session it was. There was breakfast, and then there was lunch, and then dinner was just like a piece of fruit or some tea. And then it was basically silence. So silence in the fact that you couldn't, even when you're walking past somebody, or like how someone would hold the door and you'd be like, oh, thank you, or you make eye contact, like you weren't even supposed to do that. It was like no eye contact, no talking, no acknowledgement. It was just, you're supposed to be in your own process, learning your own thing, figuring out what your body needs, and that's it. And so I think by day 5, I was like, okay, I'm not sure that I want to do this anymore. I think I'm done. And so there is a person that they had this time. It was a lady. There's like a lady and then 2 guys, and they will switch off doing the 10-day sessions. And so she was always available. So if you had, any questions, any issues, because sitting for meditation too, like people would get uncomfortable, their back would start to hurt. And so they would give you, different things that you could do or ways that you could sit and things like that. But then they're always there for you. Like if you needed to sign up for a session, you could sign up after lunch just to talk with them for like 10 minutes or whatever. So I went and I talked with her that day, and I'm like, I don't know that I can do this. I'm missing home. I'm missing my people. I think I was really mostly missing like physical connection. Like one of my top love languages is physical touch. And so I was missing that. I was missing just connection with people in general. And yeah, so but then she talked me through it a little bit, and then, after that I felt much better. But is definitely intense, and definitely, yeah, you're just supposed to go through the body and just feel into the sensations of the body, and like just try to be still and not move. Like that is the point of the meditation.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
That would be such a challenge for me.
Yeah.
So, because you're with other people.
You're with other people.
You're with other people. It's not like you're in a room, isolated, solitary confinement, so to speak. Like the temptation would just be great.
Yes, so, especially when you're going for, like, lunch was the biggest meal. And so you'd be going in and everybody's trying to get food, or you're trying to get, like, the tea was over here, and then if you wanted honey or other things for it, and like, so like moving, and you'd be waiting because you're like, I want the honey, but you can't say like, oh, can you pass that to me? So then you just kind of have to like sit there and wait, and it's just very interesting, very, very interesting. But I think if everybody could do something like that just to try it once, yeah.
Listening. Yes. I feel like there's so much noise. And
so much noise.
God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I'm practicing this. I literally need to be a better listener. And I feel like I've made a lot of progress, but it's submersing yourself where you're forced to listen.
Very forced. Yes, very forced. But, I chose it for myself. Actually, there's a chiropractor in West Bend that I've been going to, and he's the one that told me about it.
Okay.
And I had heard somebody else talk about it before, but I was like, oh, I don't know, that sounds like so much. And then he was telling me about it, and I'm like, okay, I think I had heard about it 3 times in the matter of like a month or so. And I'm like, okay, clearly I'm taking this as a sign to like, this is my next step. And yeah, that like detox from social media for the first couple of days.
No phones.
No phones. You turn your phones in when you get there. So you cannot, so there's, and it's basically, so there's no temptation to turn your phone on and talk to your peoples.
Babe, come save me.
Right.
No, just kidding.
Yes. There's no temptation to get onto, you're not supposed to bring a journal or anything to write with either. Like you're literally just supposed to be in your own process, because what his premise is that you're now utilizing your brain to try to think of all these other things when we really just want to stay in the body. And so it's trying to get out of that overactive mind, the mind that's always like going and constantly on, and how can we just slow it down and simplify it and just be with our breath and our body. And so, yeah, it was definitely intense.
Well, that's the biggest thing that happens for me when I'm meditating is I have all these fits of inspiration. Yes. And I'm like, I have to write this down. I have to act on this. I got to do this or I'm going to lose it. And a lot of times I do. Mm-hmm. But maybe that's just how it's supposed to be.
Yes. And that's what I asked too. Cause I'm like, well, what happens if cause there were quite a few things that came in for my business and things like that when I was doing it. And I'm like, what do I do now? But what they had told me before going into this is that you will remember anything that you're needed to remember, and everything that you're meant to be doing in this lifetime, it will come back to you if it's meant to be. And so I just kind of went into it knowing that like, this is this time period for me, this 10 days of sacred silence that I may never ever get again. And so just try to like really, cause like truly, when are you ever going to get 10 days of silence? Never, unless you specifically go and seek it out.
Yeah. Like it seems so out of reach.
Yeah.
And so I love that you committed to that for yourself.
I would love to do it again, but also in a location where like in
Costa Rica
or India or something where they like traditionally do it, because then they have like monks that will chant in the morning. So this was one of the things that was hardest for me, is every morning they chanted. And so they did tell us what the chant meant, because I'm like, I'm not going to be chanting something that I don't know what this means. But like growing up in the religious culture that I did, chanting kind of was almost seemed as like I don't want to say of the devil, because I don't know that it was told that it was of the devil. I think I just associated that with just because of how I was brought up. Mm-hmm. And so at first I was like, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I want to do this. But then the vibration from chanting. So when you're chanting, you're utilizing your voice, your vocal cords, your vibrational energy, your we all have our own frequency and our own vibration. And so when you chant, it's healing to your body, because you're given this voice, this vibration that can heal yourself as well. And so they say when you're humming, you're singing, you're chanting, that you're activating the vagus nerve, for one thing, your parasympathetic, and then you're also healing your body, because it's your own vibration, and your own vibration was made for you specifically. And so they chant every morning. But what I was talking with a couple of the females, because you're separated from females to males, and then at the end you get done with the silent meditation, like right after lunch on the last day, and then you have the rest of the night to talk with people, which is really nice. So like the first time when people like smiled and we could actually smile at each other, I'm like, oh my gosh, your smile looks so different. I can see your teeth. I can, like, because people look so different from when they're just like closed mouth, closed, like not paying attention to smiles. And like, it just was so interesting. But I'm trying to think of where I was going with that, where I cut myself off from. Lost my train of thought.
I was with you.
It'll come back if it's meant to.
Maybe what did you come out of there?
Yeah, I think I was talking about right before we went out of it. I don't know. It'll come back if it needs to.
Hey.
But it was basically a beautiful way just to get into your body.
Oh, if you were to do it again, you would go to India.
Oh, yes, because the chanting, that's it. Yes, the chanting. Yes. So what they were telling me was that the energy, like you can just feel it. She was like, it would give me goosebumps every morning just listening to them chant. And that's how they would open the meditation, is they would just chant. It was all the monks that are there. And so I was like, I would love to do that someday, just to feel in the energy of sitting in that meditation then after hearing them chant, and the vibration and all of that comes along with it. Like, I don't know. I just think because of how I was raised too, it's like, this is the only way that you can believe in, the only way that you can do it. And now that I'm so open, it's like, I want to see how other people do it. Not to say like, oh, I'm going to go and switch over to being a monk or anything like that, but just to like be open to what is out there and the other healings and the other, ways of life. So I just think that there's so much to being open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Surrender.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people aren't open because they're resisting.
Yes.
And I spent a lot of time in that space. But I feel like as soon as you like surrender, you realize like how it's all connected.
Yes.
And we're all just want love.
Yes. And they say what you resist persists.
Ooh.
So it's like the more that you resist it sometimes, especially if it's something for you, the more that's going to keep showing up and keep showing up and keep showing up. And the more that we try to control and manipulate, whether it's an outcome or whether it's a relationship or whatever it is, the more that we put pressure on it and control it and try to manipulate it, the more that it's just going to keep showing up for us. So once we learn to just let go and surrender and be like, all right, God, just take this and do what you will with it, that's when like the healing can happen, because now we've let go of like this control, this, we think that we can, truly sometimes we think that we can do all of these things when it's like, it is divinely orchestrated. And so if we just let go and let it happen as it's meant to happen, it will all work out beautifully. Yeah.
And that's what 2025 is all about, right? With the year of the snake, was kind of shedding what no longer serves you, letting go, the surrender. Yes. And now it's the horse.
Yes.
So it's like, giddy up.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go to India.
Yes. All right. Let's do it.
I'm down. I've been wanting to go to India a lot.
We just put that out there. So here we go.
We're seeding it out. And until next time, I feel like we're there. Yeah. That flies by.
It does fly by.
Every single time. We'll have to do this again.
Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
In India, after we do our 10-day silent meditation retreat.
Yes. Yes. Please, Danny, can I please go? Oh, kids are home. It is that time. Yes. I love you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And keep tuning in and share with your friends. And go ahead and give her a follow. What's your handle?
Wild Soul Collective LLC.
Wild Soul Collective LLC, please, and take one of her offerings. It is transformational healing. It's something that speaks to your soul and that you'll never forget. And I just feel like your energy is just wonderful, and that everyone should experience. And I'm going to Blue Luna to that mindful movement and meditation. I know it's 2 M's.
Yeah.
Movement and meditation class.
Yes.
Because that's a commitment that I need to do for myself. So goals. It's a giddy up season. So giddy on up over there, so I can vibe nectar from you at least once a week.
Yes.
Much love, sister.
You too.
All the sweetest blessings to you.
Thank you.
Andale, andale.